the political entity known historically as Magna Frisia constituted a formidable and highly influential power along the North Sea coast of continental Europe from roughly the mid-7th century to the mid-8th century CE. However, the term kingdom, regnum, often applied by historians, is inherently problematic, primarily due to the severe limitations of the available sources and the complex nature of the polity itself. Geographically, the supposed kingdom was far from a centralized state. Natural barriers, such as the vast tidal chasm of the Hollands Deep, significantly hampered effective communication and unified defense between the northern and southern settlements, which was particularly critical in the event of foreign invasion. This structural weakness is further complicated by the political structure and the inherent source bias. The Frankish chronicles, the only extant written accounts for this period, consistently refer to the Frisian rulers not as kings, regs, but as dukes, duces, implying a subordinate or less centralized authority in the eyes of their conquerors. Crucially, the sources provide no genealogical evidence to suggest that the various Frisian rulers, dukes or kings, who appear across the vast territory were necessarily related or belonged to a single dynastic line. Therefore, there is no scholarly basis to assume a hereditary monarchy. The rule was likely regional, perhaps based on military prowess or local aristocratic consensus, rather than strictly dynastic succession. Almost all rulers are documented through Frankish and hagiographic sources, confirming the existence of regional leadership. For instance, Aldgisl, Fluid c. 678, is notable for providing refuge to the exiled Frankish Bishop Wilfrid of York, an act that not only indicates a degree of political independence but also a strategic engagement with powerful Frankish and ecclesiastical figures. The most celebrated of these rulers was Redbad, died 719, who spearheaded a decades-long resistance against the encroaching Frankish expansionism led by the mayors of the palace, Pippin of Herstal and later Charles Martel. Radbod's defense was not only political and military, as demonstrated by his notable victory at the Battle of Cologne in 716, but also deeply cultural and religious. His staunch adherence to traditional Germanic polytheism and his resistance to Christian missionary efforts, such as those of Willibrord, cemented his image as a symbol of Frisian sovereignty. On the other hand, Redbad seemed to be connected to Frankish nobility, as his Darfa Thyardsvine married a son of Pepin of Herstal, as it is told by the Chronicle of Moisac. Following Radbod's death, the leader defeated at the Battle of the Bourne in 734 is identified as King Poppo, marking the end of effective Frisian military power against the Franks. These figures, Aldgisl, Redbad, and Poppo, appear sequentially in the limited records, yet as noted, their direct family relationships remain purely speculative. Same goes for Ordulf, who lived well before Radbod and Algisl and who is sometimes held as a Frisian king for his coins, but was most likely a Frisian money rather than a king and even less likely to be related to the kings mentioned above. Despite its ultimate assimilation into the vast Carolingian Empire, the distinct Frisian cultural and legal identity remained robust. This persistence is formally recognized in the Lex Frisianum, a code of law specifically compiled by order of Charlemagne in the late 8th or early 9th century, which detailed the unique social ranks, legal customs, and crucial maritime laws of the Frisian people. Thus, while the political structure itself vanished, its sophisticated trade networks, unique legal framework, and fierce independent spirit profoundly influenced the subsequent development of the coastal regions, laying the foundational groundwork for the medieval and early modern commercial prowess of the Low Countries.